Well, once again, during the leveling, not really much happened. Like, I did this quest, which took me an hour of farming elites, which was really fun, and I was really happy when it finally dropped. But it doesn't matter, it's just another everyday quest that I did. But what was important, that the quest that came afterward. Now, the quest wasn't anything special, like, I just needed to light up 4 braziers in a tower that's protected by 1 elite. Then why am I talking about this? It's really simple, my dudes. The quest item. It's a 2-handed staff. Yep, I'm actually getting a weapon without a stat. I mean, look, listen. If you want power, you have to say goodbye to your friends. So, in the end, we just have to say goodbye to Fizz. He was a great offhand, but I need power. And I need this 2-handed stuff because it looks cool. Look at it, it looks goddamn cool. Well, goodbye, fish. Well, Fizz, we will miss you. But you were switched off to this cool stuff, yeah! Although it's kind of funny because it's actually a nerf to us. As you know, that my unarmed boxing is like 3 damage or something, but for some reason with this weapon, my auto attack is immune.
Huh?
Yeah, don't think about it too much, I don't get it either. But I guess we cannot use my most useless talent, which is auto attacking. I mean, looking cool, it's probably worth more than auto attacking. Now, questing in Angoro, I managed to unlock a repeatable quest at the pylons, and there is 6 repeatable quests. Now, out of the 6, only 2 matters. The first one is 30 spirits, which is pretty much Scroll the Spirit, but way better. And I already had trouble gathering Scroll spirits, and I had no way to actually gain spirit buff, so this one was a huge help, and 30 is a lot of spirit. The other one is Thorns, which is fine. I can use it on my pet and make him gain more threats, which is, good. I mean, the longer he can tank before I take the aggro away, the better. So, questing in Ungaro was really worth it. The 30 spirits is just amazing. Now, I had a ton of elite quests to one hinterland zone, which was pretty much full of elites. But even though not because of the quest, there was another reason I wanted to go there, and that's a mallet. The mallet makes me able to summon a boss in Zul'farak. Now, he's not the last boss. Yes, technically I don't need to kill it, but I kinda still wanted to kill, especially I do have a quest to kill that boss. So I did sneakily went through the whole elite zone so I can actually get the mallet, which with no problem I actually got it. But I got cocky. I kinda wanted to do the quests as well, and I went into the cave, and yeah, World of Warcraft is a well and balanced game because for some reason in that cave the respawn time is 1 minute, and I got surrounded so quickly that I just died. I, why? Why is it 1 minute, but other places are like 5 or 10 minutes, but this zone is 1 minute? Like, come on, this is, even with 5 people, this is bullshit. Well, speaking of bullshit quest, let's talk about this one. Do you remember the R.I.P quest? Or the Gorilla quest? Well, here's 3.0, the bug quest. Once I finally cleared out everything out in the tunnel, which was really long, I started the summoning, which already was pretty difficult. Well, yeah, mostly because I don't have a gear and I can really feel how painful everything is. But that wasn't really the problem. The problem was it take a lot of time to kill them because it was a lot. So when the third wave actually spawned with the mob that I have to kill, yeah, respawn started to happen. Fun. And once I finally finished clearing out the respawn, which was already annoying, the boss disappeared. Cool. Who made this quest? Oh, first of all, why is the respawn so low? I don't get it. Who is able to actually do this and survive in such a short amount of time before the respawn's happening? Did they test this or something? I don't get the reasoning here. This is dumb. But I cleared out again, went back to summon a boss, and I don't have the quest item anymore. Oh my god, now I have to go out and get the quest again to come back here and clear out the tunnel 5 more times at least. It took me 15 minutes to clear out the tunnel to this point. Man, I hate this game so much. But after we reach 54 and some farming, we finally enter the dungeon. And our first two enemies is Sand Fury, Bloodrinker and Shadow Guy Caster, yeah. Nothing interesting, I mean, one by one or two of them at the same time, not that much happening. The Bloodrinker heals himself, the more enemies near him, and Shadowcaster casts Shadow. Yeah, who would have guessed? But to be honest, as you can see, they weren't that much of a problem. I mean, yeah, once they are coming in 3 or 4, yeah, that's more problematic, but luckily this dungeon is really easy to skip. Now, for this dungeon, it actually took a lot of time. And I have to say, this, so far, is my favorite dungeon, because this one was so far the hardest dungeon. Now, did I succeed or not? I'm not gonna tell you, you have to watch the video. But this is my favorite dungeon, simply because how difficult it was. And I thought Nomuragan was difficult, which is, but this one is on another level. Now our next common enemy is the Witch Doctor, which has 3 abilities, Healing Ward and Lava Totem, which is both a totem, one of them is damaging, one of them is healing, but luckily they are totems, so 1 auto attack from Tango and they are gone. But the third ability is actually kinda more interesting because that's Heal. And yeah, it heals quite well, but it did give me some time to time troubles, but luckily it has cooldown and you can kill him before he can cast the second one, or you can just drain out their mana so they can even heal. But whenever it's 3 enemies, it's kinda hard to drain mana or quickly kill them, so yeah, it gave me trouble, but we already found the weird spot, and this isn't the only one. I have found so many weird spots in this dungeon that are almost everywhere, so dying is not that easy, to be honest, as long as you fight near a weird spot. But now let's talk about the real threat. Shadowhunter and Sandcrawler. Especially this group. This was the bane of my existence. These 2, Shadowhunter and Sandcrawler. And luckily this is the only one, but it wasn't really luckily, and you will know later on why. This group is insanely difficult because of 2 reasons, actually 3. You know what, actually 4. The first reason, Shadowhunters polymorph. Once they polymorph the pet, since it's a polymorph, they will immediately aggro onto me because they don't want to break the polymorph, which means my pet can't tank forever. The other thing is the Sandcrawler. He is a nightmare. He is immune to fear, he is immune to slow, and he has a 10-second long stun. If he gets you with the stun, you're most likely dead. Like, I'm not joking. Even the polymorph lasts long as like 8 seconds, but I mean it's a polymorph, so if I get hit, it breaks most likely, but the stun? Yeah, that's insane. I mean, yeah, I get 30% increase armor, which is amazing. Like 88 plus 30% is a lot of armor, but yeah, 8 to 10 second stun is just a nightmare. And welcome to the most insane part of the dungeon, an event, which is pretty much just non-stop sending trolls towards me and towards 5 guys, which to be honest really not that strong, pretty weak, and I have to protect at least the goblin, because the goblin is the one that clear out the door where is the last boss, so I need to protect him to actually enter the last boss. That's why I'm doing this event. But yeah, this event is insane. Like, this is just nonsense. I mean, not really. Probably with 5 people it's pretty easy, but by yourself, this is just impossible. You can see just how fast I get overwhelmed, and I pretty much just have to evade and they just kill the guys, and that's all. Just look at how much enemy is there. And if it wasn't enough, at the end there is 2 boss that will actually join the fight. You can see that how impossibilities by yourself. So I needed another solution. So I started jumping. A lot and for a lot of time. I'm going to cut most of them out and I'm gonna fast forward what I'm actually gonna show you, but I tried everywhere to find any spot where I can climb up, since I cannot open the gate so I can go there. So my only reason is somehow climb up the wall, get in there. I jump a lot, as you can see, everywhere. I tried my best, and there was so many moments that I thought that I'm so close to succeeding, I just need something a little bit more. And as I was thinking, I remembered something so stupid that can actually work. There's a guy in Tanneries called Noganfogger, which I did a quest and now he sells potions to me. Now that potion can give you a random effect, but one of them is slow fall. And with slow fall I might be able to actually get through. And after a lot of still jumping because I still needed to find a spot, I found this spot. And I finally got in. I climbed up. I did it. Now, two shadow hunters did wait for me, which is kind of problematic because there is no evade spot or kiting spot here, but I didn't care. I made it in, and we can finally go to the final boss. But my happiness quickly became my sorrow, because the boss was unattackable. You couldn't fight nor anything around him. He was just unkillable pretty much, and I didn't know why. I got stuck, and I was thinking, what could be the problem? And my only reasoning was that the door was closed, and somehow the triggers and events are connected that if door is broken, then boss became attackable. And I did check on the internet, and my guess was correct. You have to blow up the door for the boss to be attackable, which means the stair even has to be completed. And you can see how impossible was this stair, which means the last boss is impossible to do. But it's not impossible as Uldaman. I can actually try to do so. So I did put in my time in it because at least this was a challenge, this is what I wanted. And I tried my best to do the stairs. Now before I reset the dungeon, I picked some volunteers that helped me find some type of way that actually could make it somehow possible, and the only thing I found is this. I would say it's a half dead mine zone because it's kinda complicated and not really good. Now, because keep in mind, I'm not gonna fight 1 or 2 enemies, I'm gonna fight like 20 to 80 enemies. And since there is 2 ways that they can go left or right when I jump there, they can pretty much sandwich me and kill me. And also, it's not good. Once I mess up the jump, I'm just dead, and also it still doesn't answer my problems. But this is the only thing I found. Now I did a lot of practicing. A lot. I'm not joking around, that jump was way more difficult than it looks. I had to practice. I have to find every pixel where they turn left or where they turn right. I have to be certain that I'm not gonna mess up the jump because it was really easy. Because obviously if I fall down and not jump to the end, that's just a death sentence. There is only one way out there, and the one way out is throughout every troll. And the other one is, yeah, if I do the sandwiching terribly, that half of them go left, half of them go right, it's once again, I'm just gonna die. There is a lot of them. Obviously, if they actually hit me by a lot, I'm most likely dead. So I did practice so much, and I still didn't feel good. It is somehow one of the hardest jump I managed to do, and I have to keep doing that. Yeah, this doesn't look good, and once again, I still don't have a solution how the goblin survives the whole stair part. Now for every try I have to reset the dungeon, run out and run in, and have to clear out everything around the stairs because, you know, that's where I'm actually fighting. And that includes the annoying patrol, the two shadow hunters and the sandcrawler. And they are still insanely difficult. So difficult that I learned a new thing about it. That the polymorph, if they polymorph me, some reason it doesn't break if they hit me. Which is stupid, that's not how polymorph works. And if so, why do they change aggro if the polymorph doesn't break when they did it on my pet? It didn't make sense. But of course, that's how it goes, so yep, that's a death. Thank you for making polymorph unpolymorphable.
Need more?
Yeah, cool. Now on to the main event. I had a plan, and obviously with the jumping, I started doing it. And actually, it was working. I did so well, I survived like for 15 minutes. And yeah, it was actually working. They survived. And I will tell you what was the plan later. But it didn't work forever, because the ending is even worse than the beginning. Because the boss will join the fight, and it's not one boss, but two bosses. But weirdly enough, not even the bosses are the problem, but the ads that he keeps sending. Because they are new type of ads, the zealots and the shadowcasters. Now the shadowcasters are okay, they cast shadow, kinda annoying because you can't kite them because they are spell ranged enemies, but the problem is the zealots. They enrage, and when they are enraged, they decide they will hit so hard that half of my health will just vanish, or anything that they get hit. And the problem is they will forever coming as long as the boss is alive, so they will non-stop sending it, and you just couldn't do it. The boss overwhelmed me and I had to evade. But I felt so close, and I was so close, and I kinda see it may be possible, it could be possible, but it's still not enough. I need to figure out something. But there is just how? Like, there is no way to survive that. But the more I tried, it got worse. And I was just thinking that at the first try, I think I just got lucky. No matter what I tried to do anymore, I just wasn't as good as before. And yep, I died once again. But even the game didn't like me at all, because one of the reset kinda bugged out and it kept me disconnecting like every 15 minutes or so. And yeah, I was stupid enough to start the event, even though I knew I was gonna disconnect, and yeah, that happened. So that's on me. I admit, I was stupid. I got disconnected before. I don't know why the dungeon got bad at that specific dungeon, that it had to disconnect me so many times, but yeah, even the dungeon doesn't want me to complete this. And as I said, the dungeon really didn't want me to complete this, because for some reason they managed to all of them together stand on a pixel in the air, which didn't make sense, but they were in the air. I mean, it doesn't look like that in the video, but they were in the air, and because of that they evaded. And at first it looks like, oh, that's good, I don't have to deal with them, they are evade. But they got out of evade because, you know, evaded normally, and all of them went to the goblin that I needed to protect and just zerked him down. Like, yeah, so cool. Now, before I show you my last attempt, let me talk about my plan. Now, did I succeed or not? You will see it later. Now, my plan was kinda, yeah, the jumping part, but how did I manage to save at least the goblin, right? And that's my plan. And my plan was pretty simple, yet not that simple. At first, I let them come up, and I let them hit my teammates, let it be whoever, it doesn't matter. I just want them so my teammates actually gain threat and don't just walk away without actually killing them. Once they get attacked, if they are being attacked by my teammates, I just let them, they can kill them. But if they are not being attacked by my teammates, that means there are already enough throws to fight them. I use two spells. One is Dark Pact, which immediately generates threats if my pet is also in combat with them. But it was kinda inconsistent because it was hard to put the pet there since I needed mana, so it was kinda hard. But the other ability, Siphonless, does the same thing. I don't really know why, but it generates threat immediately once I put it on the target. And it's an instant spell. So I just use Siphon Eyes on the enemies that were already in combat with my teammates, but didn't get hit, which means I immediately get aggroed by them and they will start chasing me. Now here comes the interesting part. Once my teammates finishes fighting, since they already got aggro by the others that I took away from them, because they got hit, they will join me at the fight. Now the trolls at the stairs, they only go up top of the stairs but not behind, which means they will start patrolling at the staircase, which means they won't get aggro. Well, except one problem, the Warlock. The Warlock doesn't like to move, so we will just let him die while the other four will follow us. And the plan was this much. Pull my teammates back at the back so the other trolls don't, aggro. Let my teammates actually kill the trolls while I'm kiting them. Let the Warlock die so he doesn't aggro too much. And make it to the last boss. And for the last boss it was just hoping for the best. Now let's see if the plan worked.
decorate my altar.
Oh shit.
And with a pixel amount of health, the goblin actually survived, and we did the star events. So far, the hardest challenge I did in World of Warcraft. This was so fun. This is what I wanted for so long. And I know you thought this is impossible. I know that's what you thought, that it's impossible to do the star event. But it's only impossible because you are thinking this. It's not, it was not. I did it. That's it. The hardest part of this dungeon is complete. And from now on, this is gonna be easy to do. But I wanted to thank Surgeon Bly for his help, for his tanking, even though he almost didn't tank anything. I just wanted to thank him. So yeah, I gave him some pat on the back and moving on, now it's finally time for the last boss. You wanted this fight for so long, right? This is why you came here, to watch this amazing fight. Yeah, I mean, it was nothing, to be honest. After the start, it's just... you just do the kiting and he dies. Poof. Wow. Yeah, we did the dungeon. Woohoo! Now I just did my quests and I did summon Gahz'rillas with the mallet I made in the hinterlands. And hold and behold, this was actually a difficult fight. I was not expecting it. He has 3 important abilities. Ice Bolt, which is a 10-second slow and a good amount of frost damage, so if you get hit, he will just catch you. The other one is stun for like 7-6 seconds. I don't actually know, but yeah, you're just dead if he stuns you, like he hits so hard. But the third one, the most problematic one, Threat Drop. Same with Ironeia. He just ignores my pet and goes for me after a while. And I was not expecting that, and yeah, he might have actually killed me. But actually this boss gave me chance, so I'm gonna put this in a video because this boss deserves the last boss more than the previous boss. Now the first thing I had to figure out is where to fight him, because I can't fight the same place where I fought the previous boss at the stairs, because he is a caster, which means with icicles and stuns he is still gonna just kill me. And I also had a second problem, evades. This is not a dungeon enemy, which means like in No Meragan last boss, it just evades after moving 100 yards. Or, you know, I already explained it. So I needed a new place, but I did have actually another place which I wanted to fight the last boss in, but I thought the start was easier. So I went back there, killed the 2 Shadowhunter patrol there, which was annoying, and I tried to pull the boss there. Actually, it was pretty difficult to get the boss there because I didn't want him to evade, but also I didn't want him to kill me because he could easily catch me, especially if he slows me down. But once we managed to do it, we did it, but a new problem arrived that the patrol respawned. I mean, it wasn't even 10 minutes, well, maybe, I don't know. But still, it's way too fast for a respawn timer. Like, why is it a thing? Why is the respawn time not the same as everything else? Why this one?
Need more rain!
Anyway, so I resetted and killed the patrol once again. And that concludes the end of Zul'farak. This was definitely the most fun dungeon I have, even with the disconnects and the lag and the bugs and stuff like that. It's still, this was actually fun. At the start part I really loved, it was actually difficult and it was really fun to find a solution to it. So out of all the dungeons, this one was the first one that I would say it was worth it. It was worth doing it. Although I feel like this is also gonna be the last, because there is only 2 more dungeons left to do. But Zul'farak is completed. And yeah, Uldaman is still a fail, but at least we did Zul'farak. Thank you for watching, I guess, and I hope you learned something from this. I don't know what you wanna do here by yourself. I wouldn't recommend doing this by yourself, especially not the start part. Especially if you are trying to do it on hardcore or something. Don't. It's not worth it. It's not that fun that I want to do it on hardcore and waste hundreds of hours if I feel. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I guess you can listen to my thoughts after the dungeon if you're interested. But the video is over. Goodbye. Also, if you clicked for a short answer in the description, yes, Zul'farak is soloable naked. That was actually fun, kinda enjoyed it. Other than the lag and disconnects. The challenge itself was good. I'm proud of myself as well, since I actually did the star one. I didn't back down. I just finished it. Yeah, that challenge was pretty decent. Is it harder than Gnomeragan is the question now? Yeah, I think so. I think it is harder than Gnomeragan, the start part at least. Nothing else, but the start part is definitely harder than Gnomeragan. Gahz'rillas would have been actually a difficult fight if I didn't have this type of kiting which I had. And also the last boss also could be really difficult, since they actually hit really hard. If there weren't deadman spots almost everywhere in this dungeon. Like, Jesus. It was so easy to... It was just so easy to... kite, other than the stair parts. Definitely this was the hardest dungeon. And you can tell by the amount I died, or reset. Even though, like, I feel like some of my deaths weren't really the fault of being difficult, but because of my internet or the bad design of the game with the disconnects. But it's still a pretty difficult one. The fact that you cannot go through, even if you can go through the door, but you cannot actually fight the boss until you do the stair part is what made it difficult. Because we did find a way to climb up. But yeah, the boss was untargetable. Well, no, not untargetable, but unattackable, I guess. I don't know how to say. Yeah. The trash is not that bad. It is annoying when it's 3 of them. The Shadow Hunter and the Gahz'rillas is definitely the strongest one. Kind of feel like also a toss-up if they're gonna hex your pet too early or too late and stuff like that, or both of you get hexed, which also happens sometime. I did die to it once because of it, mostly because I don't know why the hex didn't break. That was for me the weird spot. I feel like that should have been broken by now, but it didn't break, so yeah. Do we kill this? Why not, right? I actually don't really care about it. It's not, he's obviously not strong. So challenge completed. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this dungeon. Definitely a dungeon I would not recommend soloing in a hardcore situation. And here's the reason why I don't play hardcore, even though I kind of want to. But one, that's not the point of the challenge. I know I'm gonna die a lot, most likely, because soloing dungeons naked at the end, like now even now, because gear is really important at this level by now. Kinda crucial, I would say. It's obviously gonna be a lot of trial and error. Like, let's not say it's not gonna be. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not playing hardcore, but mostly because you saw it. Random disconnects, which wasn't my internet, it's just the game decided. Also, my internet is not the best and I still don't know why. So yeah, that's pretty much the reason I don't play hardcore. Can you do it in hardcore? Yeah, I mean, if you can do it in softcore, you can do it in hardcore too. Is it worth doing it? Probably some of them. Like, most of them isn't that difficult, I would say. Like, for Zul'farak example, the Zul'farak I would not do. Unless you're aiming for not the stair parts. Like, everything else was fine. Just don't do the stairs in hardcore, I would say. It's really janky. I didn't do it myself. You can do it, and if you don't lag, you have always the evade spot, so to be honest, it's pretty safe to do it if you want trial and error with evade spot. But if you get disconnected like me, you're just dead. Although that's true for every part of the game pretty much. But there, I don't know what caused the disconnect. It still doesn't make sense to me. Because it's not the jumping, because the first time I got disconnected I was just standing there, waiting for my mana, I think. I don't actually remember. But yeah, this dungeon I wouldn't really recommend soloing in hardcore, nor Scarlet Graveyards. That one also I wouldn't recommend. The others are fine, you can easily solo the other ones. Even Gnome Dragon, I just didn't know how to reach the boss at the beginning. So, once again, dungeon probably the hardest one so far, but we still have more Rodan and technically Sunken Temple. because I said I'm gonna try to do it. The star part. It's pretty much the star part is the hardest part and the only hard part. Everything else was kind of easy. Gahz'rillas does give you a challenge, but if you actually manage to kill the last boss, so if you manage to do the stair, you have such an amazing kiting spot there that even Gahz'rillas isn't really a threat. The only hard part is to actually bring him there because he for some reason likes to give it. I also gave check. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts, and that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I guess I will see you soon in more Hodon because I actually got 40% of experience just doing the dungeon over and over again because the amount I had to clear gave me too much experience. Anyway, bye.